Hey folks, good morning. Mr. Boost decided he wanted to say hello also. Say hello, man. You want to get out? All right, I picked you up to give you that attention first thing in the morning. Yeah, I already gave you some food, man, and I gave you the water. I'm still here, folks. How are we doing today? Everybody all right? Excuse me. SOS band. All right, SOS band. 80s. And y'all know about that? Oh, okay. Some of y'all. We're gonna do a whole science I gotta get the coffee up in me. We're gonna do a whole science breakdown. Yes, scientific. On why music makes you feel a certain way, takes you back to a certain time. It's a scientific thing. Okay? So, this album, I remember specifically, well, a couple songs by the SOS band. Speaking of SOS band, I met the SOS band when I was working at the Radisson, Lord Baltimore Hotel, front desk. I was, for folks that know, I'm telling an old story. But this story I'm telling is not old, but the fact that I worked at the Radisson as the front desk manager and the nighttime auditor, / both. When they found out, started there as security, working security for the hotel. You know, all the floors had the master key. And then they found out I was taking finance in school. The front desk people, the management of the front desk found out from security that I was in school for finance. At that time, I switched majors. I switched from finance to chemistry. So anyway, oh my goodness, gotta get this up in me. SOS band was. We had a lot of bands. A lot of stars stayed there at my spot. I'll tell you a whole bunch of people that I met. In fact, I got 2 autographs. I'll show you those to you later on. SOS band was there, and they came down. They were going to go out for their show, and the lead singer, the young lady, the other guys were standing behind her, but she came to the front desk. I can't remember what she asked for, and said, "Oh, you know, you SOS band, you know, yeah." I recognize her obviously, and she signed her. That's one signature I got. Oh, signature. One autograph I got. Autograph from Aaron Hall, from Guy. Autograph from the most famous person that stayed there was Phyllis Hyman. Well, at least my favorite was Phyllis Hyman. Got a whole story about her, had a whole interaction with her. That's a great story. You want to stick around for that one. And I'm saying all this, okay, folks, because I'm not going to be in here much longer. I'm serious. This is going to be over. But you will be able to get in touch with me. But this is going to be over on here. These people are fucking around with me on here. I can't do it no more. Okay? Because, see, I can't operate. If I can't speak the truth, then I can't be me. If I can't speak the truth, I can't be me. That's why they had problems with me when I was working. That's why I had to keep my mouth shut so they wouldn't fire my ass so I could get out of there and retire. Good morning. I'm not angry, y'all. Remember, when I come on here, this is the extroverted side of me. This is the performative side of me. Not that I'm lying or anything. It's just this is the performative side. This is where I can express myself so people will follow what the hell I'm trying to say. Okay? Phyllis Hyman, who else? Craig Mack stopped by the desk for the folks from way back then. He was a character. These people, in that group, the Craig Mack crew kind of people. In fact, I think, I know. Diddy was there. Biggie, but I didn't know they weren't real big then. They weren't big. They weren't big. I saw them walk through the lobby, but they didn't come up to the front desk. What's the singer? Man, Monica. Monica stayed there. Monica was there when I was working security, because she was standing out front, and I talked to her for a second. She's a little thing, about this tall. Anyway, why am I telling you all that? Oh, because I met SOS Band, and they were my favorite group back then. And it was like, just regular folk, just regular folk. And do you hear her? That's her singing. God damn, cat hair, man. All right. I don't have anything today. Salute. So a gentleman came on there. He said one thing. He just said one thing. Didn't explain. Didn't anything. He said it was because it was the first video. That's the first comment. That's why I noticed it. He said, hey man, your videos, something feels different. And I made a video, but it didn't get any play on here. That's what I'm saying. They're messing with me, where I was explaining why I'm switching back to this. I did a whole thing. I did a whole spiel on it. So he was right. He was right. I think I replied to him. I can't remember now, but he was right. It's a thing. It's a feel. TikTok is a feel. I love TikTok, but I don't like the people that are running the shit. So we're going to switch back to this kind of format. Not all the time, but most of the time. And you guys know I'm a pattern guy. So when I look at all the different videos, right, that I've made over the last 2 years, the ones that get the most play are the ones that are close up on me. Not the ones with the whole the view. It's the ones that are close, because TikTok is a thing. It's a feel, like he said, it's a feel. So whenever I do the ones where it's spread out, those are made for YouTube, because YouTube is landscape, like your television. That's why it's called YouTube. So it finally made sense. And it also makes sense that when I try to do like the wide shot, the landscape on the TV, I'm too small on the image. People want to see, they want to get up close and personal. Right? They want to be up in your face. Salud. Did I do that? Good morning. All right. Got some good news. So the training is going well, folks. The training is going well. We're making headway. In fact, I have to change a parameter in here. That's the good news. I'm shedding, right? I'm shedding, not like a dog or a cat. I'm shedding the weight, because I need to get the weight down to run faster. I can manipulate my weight anytime that I want to. We're going to talk about all that. That's coming. It's coming, y'all. I promise you it's coming. No, it's here. I just hang in there. Hang. Suspense. Hang. Y'all trust me, right? Okay. It's just, cats are finicky and they're hard to, don't ever try to figure out a cat. Don't do that. You'll get frustrated. Oh, okay. Never mind me. I know you can barely hear it. The most vivid, I have two scenes. You guys remember, for the folks that know SOS Band, you guys remember, tell me if you still care, you guys remember that slow jam? Okay, let's talk about slow jams for a second. Let's talk about slow jams. I grew up in the 80s. When I say grew up, those were they weren't my formative years, but they were my 18, 19, 20, 21, when we're going to talk about the science, okay? We're definitely going to talk about the science, because it's real. It's real. That's why I'm bringing it to your attention right now. So, without talking about the science of it. So I was in Ohio, right? And one of my homies, one that went to high school, was in high school with me. He was a DJ. People that follow me, you guys know the whole story about me, him teaching me how to DJ and all that. So anyway, see, hair, I could see it floating around under my eye. So when I wasn't working the tables, I was out. He used to do house parties. He did house parties and he did at the school, at our place. So this was at the house party at our spot where we all lived. There's like 6 of us. That's a whole nother story. So doing, I'm jamming. I wasn't on the tables, right? I was doing my thing. I can dance. I can dance now. I'm just funny, but I can dance, especially when I get all my weight off. So he put slow jam on. Tell me if you still care. So, hey, you like that? You like dance? I wasn't smooth like that. I was not smooth. Please understand. I was not smooth. I was not a smooth young man. Okay, but the ladies kind of like the guy, So anyway, got a slow dance. Woo, man. Tell me if you still care. You know the part of the song where it goes, can you hear my heartbeat? Boom, 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 boom. There was a thing I used to do when that part came on. And the girls would be like, oh, what are you doing? That's why I remember that. That's why they're one of my favorite groups. And the other song, so Move Faster. Now I'm overseas. Now remember, I went out to Ohio. I was only out in Ohio for like a year. Then I dropped out and went in the Navy. Fast forward now, so I go to boot camp. I go to my A school. Now I'm in Guam. Like not even a year later, and I'm in Guam. From Columbus, 1 minute dancing, and now I'm in Guam at a club. And so I think it went past it. There's another cut. Yeah, I was talking over, but it went past it. And the reason I remember that one is because I was sitting out in a car with a young lady, and we were like sitting at the beachfront looking over the water. It's the evening, but we were looking out over the water, and the whole album was on. And so that just, y'all know what's up. I don't have to explain any further. Do I? Do I have to explain further? For the people in the back. Anyway, one day I'll show you guys those autographs. The one, like I said, that I cherish is the right word. I cherish them all, but Phyllis Hyman is because there's a whole story behind hers. We'll talk about it one day, I promise. I got to hold on to that one. I got to hold on to that to keep you guys coming back. I mean, it was one-on-one, me and her. One-on-one. Yeah. Called me out, and we were going back and forth. But it turned out well. All right. I'm still here, y'all. I'm still here. Anything? You guys got anything? This is not gonna be long. I would call this a brain dump. Yeah, this will be a brain dump. I got a story about this hat. You ready for this? This is a good one. I've had this hat, as you can tell. See? You can tell. I've had this hat, I don't know how long, okay? You see it's tattered and torn because it always reminds me how much effort that I put into my workouts, right? And a couple weeks ago, I'd say about a week and a half, 2 weeks ago, not even that, time is flying, y'all. I went out running, okay? And after I ran, when I finished running, I come back to my car and I got a whole thing that you guys are gonna see that one day, because folks have asked me, longtime follower asked me, are we gonna ever see you doing your workouts? You will, okay. So I come back to my car and I doing my thing, and I take my hat off and I put it on the back of the car. I put it on the windshield on the back. Okay. So I go through my whole thing that I do, and and then I pull off. I gather up all my stuff, and then I pull off. And as I always check to make sure that I didn't leave anything on the car, right? And apparently, maybe because I was so exhausted from working out, I neglected to see the hat that was still sitting on the back. And it was on the back, and while I'm in the car, I have things in the back, over the back seat, not all across the whole, like people put all their stuffed bears and all that stuff back. And not like that. I have a hat from my Navy hat is back there in the window, okay? And it's sitting right behind me to the extent where it's almost like a blind spot, where I can't see what's outside of the car right behind the hat. And it's behind me. I can't even see the hat, okay? The hat that's in the car. So I pull off and go about my business. I get home and I'm like looking through my stuff, and I'm tripping because I'm like, where's my hat? It's very serious to me. So it's so serious to me that I left here and went down to the garage to go see if it was still in the car. And it wasn't. I was like, damn. And I accepted it. I lost the hat and it probably left it on the car. Maybe it fell off. Maybe it's at the park. Maybe it's still at where I park. Maybe it's still there. Maybe I'll see it tomorrow. People have a tendency just to leave stuff. Some people will throw stuff away if they see, and I'm going through all that in my head. This kind of shit I go through. So next day rolls around, and I'm not trying to speed over there to see if it was, no, because I had almost forgotten about it. But I said, you know what? Things will be all right. I can live without. I have a ton of hats. I can live without it. So, in fact, that's what prompted me to get the other hat. That's what prompted me to get, let me show you. Hold on a second. Because it reminded me of my hat. So, it prompted me to get this hat, right? Okay, we'll talk about this hat another day. And so I'm driving, I'm heading on over. And as I'm driving, I got my windows down, got the sunroof open. I kind of try to relax before I go work out, Listen a little bit of reggae, just kind of chilling, trying to vibe, trying to get the air, get the ambient air, the ambient, not ambiance, but the ambient air, to get used to, get my body ready. I had the air off, air conditions off, okay, and I'm just getting it. So I'm cruising, and as I'm coming up, I see something in the street, and I'm like, wait a minute. And as I'm getting closer, I'm driving. I went past and I was like, that was my fucking hat. In the middle of the road. I'm talking about the two yellow lines. One of them kind of roads. Not just a regular back street residential. No, a road. A thoroughfare. I said, well, goddamn. You know I didn't leave it there. You know I did not leave my hat to rest there. So I went up and pulled up at the intersection. You know how you think distances are closer than what they really are? So when I pulled up, I said, I can kind of trot back and just go ahead and pick it up out the street, but I had to find a place. So here's the deal. So I make a U-E, I come back, then I had to go past the hat, right? I went past the hat because it was nowhere, because it was one of those, like I said, the two yellow lines going to thoroughfare. So I didn't have a place to pull over, so I kept going down, and I found a little residential street. Now keep in mind, how you think distances are closer than they really are. So I get out. So when I got out and parked and put my hazard lights on, I turn around, and I said, well, God damn, that's just almost like a quarter of a mile. Now keep in mind, I'm going to work out, but I don't want to do anything extra, but I think I want to keep my energy for my workout. I did the little skippy skop now, and now I'm trying to stop the traffic. It's dangerous. My shit's sitting pretty much in the middle of the road. Ho, wait, ho. And I got my hat. It had little tread marks on it. Yeah, it did. Just threw it in the car. I did go ahead and work out. So when I got back, I did put it in the washing machine. That's why it's even more tattered and torn. That's why it's kind of all bent up and everything else, see? Because the heat from the dryer just kind of squished it. But I still love my hat. That's the story behind the hat. So that's why it looks like this. That's not the only reason it looks like this, but that's one of the reasons it looks like this. All right? That's it. That's all I got. This is a brain dump, y'all. This is a brain dump, okay? If you don't like the brain dumps, then bounce. First of all, I'm not going to be here much long anyway, so don't worry about that. Look, by the way, when I get overseas, we're counting down, y'all. We're under 3 weeks. I can't wait to get the fuck out of here. The energy here is so bad, y'all. It's actually depressing. What is the expression? I laugh for not to cry. That's how bad it is here. There's nothing going on here. Nothing. Nothing. As a result of this shit going on over here at that house over there, you know which one I'm talking about? As a result of that happening, people are just like, just zombied out. Have you noticed? People are going about their business trying to make like it's normal, making, like their lives, this is what I normally do, but it's just like, it's not real. You can see in people's faces, especially at the grocery store. They're just like, I'm going through the motions. This is not life here, y'all, okay? I don't know how to express it to y'all any more than that. This is not living here. This is not living, okay? So when I get overseas, am I gonna do brain dumps? I probably won't have a reason to do brain dumps because there will be things that I can do and show you and point to this, point to that, and you may find interest in those things or just talk about things. It'll be kind of a pseudo brain dump, but it'll be more with context. Not that this doesn't have any context, but it'll be things about what's going on. And I'll be keeping an eye on shit that's going on over here. I don't want to, but I have to keep up the speed, especially because of what's all the shit that's going on right now. Then look what let me tell you what I did. I'm not gonna stay much longer. So that guy has invited a international war crime. I'm going to say it, despite what they're going to try to do to me on here, but we know who we're talking about, right? The guy whose last name begins with P. See how I have to talk? It's ridiculous. He has invited that person to the United States of America. That in and of itself is not good. He's on a wanted list, that other guy. But he's invited him. Now get this. So he calls himself, he said it, when he said it, he said it's a special place. You guys are gonna like it or some shit that he said. And it's Alaska. So everybody, so I'm a nerdy, geeky dude, right? So when I heard that, I said, it's like going from my house up to New York in terms of distance. But people right when they said Alaska, I was like, wait a minute. So of course, I get over and I do Google Earth, right? So people, this is an assignment for folks. This is an assignment. Get on Google Maps, Google Earth, whichever one you want, or any map, but it's got to be of the whole world, right? Or if you have a globe. I love globes. I love globes. I had a globe when I was young. I had a map. I had a whole fucking, excuse my language. Excuse me, Mr. Boots. I had a whole map the size of this here that was on my bedroom wall. That used to be in an elementary school. My mom was a kindergarten teacher. And She got her hands on it, and I said, "Mom, can I put that?" She said, "Sure." And my mom was cool, right? She's all about education. So that shit was on my wall. So I kind of knew. That's where I told you I'd heard of the Philippines before I went there, because I remember seeing it, right? But it didn't mean anything because I was just a child. I was a teenager. It didn't mean anything to me. But I remember that's the only time I'd ever heard when I saw it on the map. But anyway, that's a side story. Get a globe, get a map, and change it. Just shift it, especially with Google Maps. Shift it and look at it from different angles. So look at it from not the way that man has made it, laid out like it's like perfect. No, don't do that. Shift it and turn it around and look at it as though you're looking down from the top, looking down to the United States. Shift it around and do all these different angles, and you're like, it's just, it's a mind twist. And the reason I'm telling you all this is because right when they said that shit's gonna be in Alaska, do you guys know where Alaska is in relationship to Russia? Most of y'all, not most, that's not fair. I apologize. A lot of y'all probably don't know that. See, because the reason I have to say it kind of quickly like that, because when we were talking about the light and the moon, people admitted, they came in my comments and said, I didn't know that the light didn't make its own move. I said, no. They said, don't make fun of me. I said, no, I'm not gonna make fun of you. That's okay. It's just that shows you what the system has done to us here, okay? So anyway, y'all know how close Russia is to Alaska? You know how close Alaska is to Russia? Do y'all actually, so shift it around and just kind of get a bird's eye view and just shift it, just turn it so that Alaska is like up here and Russia is here, or vice versa. They're like this, I'm gonna do it so you can see, this is Alaska. I know it's almost shaped like Alaska, isn't it? This is Alaska. There's Russia. That's how close they are. So when dude gets on his bird and then comes over to Alaska, that shit might be an hour, maybe two. Because you know, on a map, it's the distances, but they're right next to each other. Literally. Remember when what's that lady that ran for president with the glasses? Yeah, that lady, Sarah. Remember she said, I can see Russia from my backyard? She fucking meant that. She meant it. People just went past people. I can see Russia from my backyard. So anyway, he's inviting that guy here. Remember that documentary I told you guys way back about the relationship between them? Remember? I haven't forgotten. I don't want to say it again on here because I'm real close to going back in jail on here. Y'all remember that one? I'll have to do a coded thing again, and so you guys can go back and look at it. Them two, hands in both each of their pocket. He's playing pocket pool, and he's playing pocket pool in his. They like this. But they're gonna have a meeting up in Alaska. I can't take it no more. That's why I'm saying I can't wait to get the fuck out of here. That's the real. It's tearing me to pieces again. I didn't think it would. The only thing that's keeping me festive and upbeat is this guy, because I'm looking out for him. He's looking out for me. And that race I got to go run. Now, of course, I enjoy going over that part of the world because that's where I live. But that's what's driving me, because I'm getting out here and I'm working out every day. Other than that, there's nothing going on here, y'all. This is a pit. This is a pit from hell. All right, let's get off of here with a little bit of smiles. You see, he's got his back to me, but that's okay. That's rare. That's rare for any animal to have their back to you while they're eating, because he used to always sit on the other side and watch me while he's drinking, especially when he's drinking, because he's looking, because predators, right? But that just shows you the comfort now. That's the comfort that he has with me. He literally has his back totally, he can't even see me. He can hear me because he's smart, but. All right, guys. Salute. I'll see you guys in another video. Take care of yourselves.